And I think it's beautiful to let these two cultures merge in one culture, which combines the good things, the beautiful pictures of Chinese language, but also the logic, the clear concept of Western European languages.
So you can put these two things together.
Yes.
I was asking you about a Western view, looking at China through Western eyes, through Chinese eyes, as it were. What about looking back at Europe? I mean, there's a bit in your book where you refer to the fact that the Chinese were always taught that Europeans were what? Blonde apes with a stench of foxes coming out of their armpits. Presumably that view has mellowed a little, has it?
Yeah, still they smell like...
I'm terribly sorry about that. It's the heat in the studio.
No, I don't mean you. I mean the European people. It's just a different kind of structure of the body. But it's just prejudice. It's just prejudice. You sure also have a lot of ideas about Chinese people, but if you meet them on a personal basis, you will think otherwise.
You love your country. Do you go back to your country, and what do they make of you being such a success?
They don't know a lot about me in China. Yes, a little bit.
What do your parents think? You go back to your parents and tell them, I've written this amazing bestseller and I'm a very rich woman. So.
No, they think you have just written 4 books. Look at our books. The whole bookshelves are full of their books. So they said, what's the reason to be conceited? I'm never conceited. You know why? I have a reason for that. You know, when I was a little child, I admired, I adored a lot of professors and film stars, very good film stars and singers. But within one night, they became devils, according to the CPC, the Communist Party. So I saw them in the camps. They were just like ordinary people. They just shaked all through their body when the wards were terrifying them. So I saw how vulnerable, how fickle fame was. So from that moment, I couldn't be snob anymore. And now I've seen a lot of downs in my life. I've seen a lot of ups in my life, but I think it's better to stay in the middle, so that I won't be down. I won't be too down when I have failure. I won't be conceited when I'm successful.
What are you going to do in China, though, with, I'm sorry to go on about your money, but you obviously do have a lot of money by Chinese standards. I mean, do you want to plough some of that money back into your country?
Now, yes, I have a foundation. It supports some Chinese projects to help children, and one of the projects is a Flower Buds project. It supports children. It sends girls between 9 and 11 back to school, because they were school dropouts because the parents found it too expensive to send them back, to continue sending them to school. And I was a little girl. I experienced a lot of hunger and a lot of desperateness. So I wouldn't see other children to go through the same thing. Anyway, I can't help save the whole world, but I can try my best. So in the last few years, I continually supported, through my foundation supported 100 or 150 Chinese girls.
I asked earlier about what you'd lost during this whole experience, and asked you if you'd lost your childhood. In a sense, you had lost the normal things of growing up as a young woman. There was no room, as it were, for love, for romance in your life. This is a personal question, but do your experiences have something to do with the fact that the man you're now in love with, the now you're man with, is a much older man than you?
Yes, he's a much older man. He's a generation older than I.
He's 70, about to be 70.
Yes. It's but I got when I was a little child, I got used to that I talked to elderly people, to old people. And they turned out to be very wise people. They considered they thought a lot about things, and they're not so impulsive. And I like their wisdom. Now, when I went back when I left the camp, I couldn't talk to my peers anymore, children of my age, because I missed the wisdom. I missed the considerateness of the elderly people. So I think that a lot of friends and families of mine, they don't appreciate that I love a man who is much older than I. But if I can tell them how much joy he gives to me, and how much joy all the support all the other people gave to me when I was a little child, they would understand.
You found happiness at last.
Yes.
Lulu Wang, thank you very much for being our guest on Heart
Thank
Talk.
you.
Thank you. You stay there for a moment.